And now, it's time for the Runnin' Rams Basketball Hour with Coach Jim Barron, presented by Rhode Joe's Saloon, legendary food and drink, and 920 WHJJ.
Good evening and welcome once again to the Runnin' Rams Basketball Hour here at Rhode Joe's Saloon. Steve McDonald with you. Got some very special guests coming up throughout the show. Bill Reynolds from the Providence Journal is going to be with us in short order. And right now we're going to be joined by Jim Barron. It's all brought to you by the Belltone Hearing Aid Center's Rams Radio Network. Rhode Joe's Saloon, legendary food and drink. Great deals every night. Find out what's going on by following them on Facebook at facebook.com/Rhode Joe's Saloon. I want to thank our friends here at Rhode Joe's. Time for the conversation with the coach. That's by Supercuts. Supercuts every time. Jim Barron with us. Jim is on the road taking advantage of an off week for Rhode Island with the bye this week. Rhode Island playing on Saturday, a nice win against Charlotte in exciting fashion, and then not playing again until this coming Saturday when Massachusetts comes to town. Coach, a chance for you and some of your assistants to get on the road and get some work done away from the basketball court.
Well, there's no question about it, Steve. We've been going pretty hard, pretty long with our schedule the way it's been. So, with having a couple of days to get out and see some prospects, it's just been a good opportunity for us to do that. And, again, it's just a really important time, as well as give our guys a little bit of a really good rest for them before we make our run for the end of the Atlantic 10 regular season play before we get into the conference tournament.
Yeah, a couple of days off for these guys before they get back to the hard work of practice and the preparation for Massachusetts. And I got to agree with you, Coach, especially with the shortened bench and the extended minutes, especially for guys like Delroy James and Marquise Jones, who are giving you practically a full game. Akeem Richmond very close to that as well, night in and night out, day in and day out. For them to get a couple of days where they can not necessarily get away from the court altogether, get their shooting done, but not have to get up and down the floor as often as they would in practice, has to be a big, big lift for them, literally and figuratively, as they get ready for Massachusetts.
Well, there's no question about that, Steve. The guys have been, they've been banged up, and, teams have been playing us very, very physical. These last two wins that we had, Dayton was extremely physical and, have so many athletes, and they have a very, very long bench, and it seemed like they kept putting guys in and out. They had two of everything, and, kind of wore us down. Then going into Charlotte, and they were very physical, very aggressive, very strong inside with their athleticism, and then their guards were very quick. So, I know a number of guys were really worn down. I know Marquise had a little touch of a flu bug, and again, but the kid, we got some warriors on this team, and they really they show a lot of courage and a lot of heart by withstanding it and staying focused and staying in the games.
Coach, the end of the game. Take us through that last play, if you can. The ended up being the buzzer beater by Jamal Wilson on the weak side rebound of the miss by Akeem Richmond. But you guys had a chance to win the game there or lose the game, and it ended up on the winning side. Take us through what you were looking for and what you got.
Well, I'll tell you what, Steve. We ran an out-of-bounds play that we set. It's kind of like a screen-to-screen play, and Akeem set came off the screen by Ben Eves, and he was wide open in the corner. And on the other side was Jamal Wilson, and he had the moxie to see the ball. But, Akeem had a great look at it, and then once the shot went up and hit, Jamal was right on the other side to pick it up and put it back in. And I tell you what, it was unbelievable. But we had two great looks at it, and it's just the guys ran the play right down to the end, and it was excellent executed. And Ben set a great screen, because we fouled out so many. We fouled out Delroy, we fouled out Orion out of Bridge, Will Martell fouled out. Fortunately, Ben set a great screen for Akeem to get a tremendous open look, and then Jamal was on the inside of Dario Green to get that rebound and to get the putback, and he got it off the glass, which was really unbelievable.
Yeah, it was an exciting finish, another exciting finish at the Ryan Center. We've seen plenty of those, and this one was a pivotal one, Coach. When you look at the league, it's really shaping up. The top 4 teams are the top 4 teams, but next in line is Rhode Island after that grouping, and you're not too far away from pushing your way into that segment. But right now, you look to be a solid team for a home game in the first round of the tournament without too much basketball left to play. Still enough to have people jockey around a little bit, but you seem to have solidified that as that top tier of that next 4 people, so you can either move up, not likely that you'll move down enough to get out of there. So things in a pretty good spot for you heading into that stretch run.
Well, we've told our guys we control our destiny, and now it's just a matter of taking it one game at a time. And the nice part about it is, we're coming out playing against some good basketball teams. I mean, when you look at Dayton, Dayton is a very, very strong team, and they've battled a tremendous amount of teams all during the year. Then you look at somebody like Charlotte, who's a very dangerous team, and Charlotte beat the number 7 team at Tennessee early in the year. They beat Georgia Tech, and then they had a great win against Xavier, and we know how good Xavier's been. So, to put ourselves in this position is really excellent, and now we just got to, finish up as strong as we possibly can by taking it one game at a time, but be real focused and ready to go. And I think a big part of this thing has been rebounding the basketball. We out-rebounded both opponents the last game, so both the last 2 games respectively, and that's a big part of what we need to continue to do.
If you look, Coach, and you see Charlotte, this is a team you quite possibly could be playing again in the postseason. It's a matchup that right now does not look very unrealistic, so it's possible you see them again, and that exciting game might be replayed at the Ryan Center in all possibility or even probability right now. And it's a tough Charlotte team, as you said. The rebounding has come around, and Will Martell has helped on the boards. The scoring for Will has been a little tougher to come by in the last several games, but he has really improved his rebounding over the last half of this season and become a little more aggressive for you on the boards.
Who's that, Steve? I didn't get the name there, please.
Yeah, Will Martell.
Oh, absolutely. He's done a really good job of really, positioning his body and making good plays. But, what we've done is we've showed these guys, how they got to move guys out once that shot goes up and really put their body in a position to get themselves in a position to rebound the basketball. And, he's really done a good job with that. And it's something that we really need because, down the stretch here, we're playing against some very good, athletic and strong teams. So we have to continue to be consistent with that positioning around the basket.
Coach, you got a big one coming up against Massachusetts on Saturday. It'll be the second time around, having played them and lost to them in Amherst not too long ago. What did you learn from that game that you take into Saturday's game?
We've got to do a much better job of playing their guards. Really try to keep them off the glass as well as contain them. They're really good. They can score the ball. They can shoot the ball. We got an early foul trouble with them. I know Nikolai, we kept moving him in and out, so he's got to do a better job with that. And then their bigs. I mean, our guys have to be smarter and be able to position ourselves inside so that we can rebound the basketball. Then on the offense, we got to do a much better job of executing our offense and being strong inside so we can get to the free throw line as well as get second and third shots. So, we got to play smarter. We got to play together as a team and as a unit.
How much, Coach, when you see a team for the second time around, how much credence do you pay to the head-to-head game that you played against them, and how much to their most recent game or two that they've had between now and then?
It's a little bit of both, Steve, because when you play them the first time, you see what you need to do from the standpoint of what hurt us. And then you look at tapes the last couple of games just to see how they brought in guys off the bench and see how their rotation has changed. So, it's a combination of both the second time around. And but again, when you're a team like us, we got to worry about ourselves. And I think ourselves being, we got to make sure we get guys off the bench. We got to get the bench ready. And then we got to play smart basketball with not getting into foul trouble, as well as doing a better job at defending their players so that we try to limit them to one shot.
I'm sure coming after the Charlotte game, you're pleased with what you saw from Akeem Richmond, especially in that second half of play. Akeem been struggling a little bit from that three-point line, which is something that he's pretty proficient at, and certainly last year showed that. This year at 32% from three coming in. The team as a whole, number 12 in a 14-team league from three-point range. Akeem really came on strong in that second half, and I know that you'd like to see that extended out throughout the rest of the year.
Well, it's all part of it. The first half, I thought we had some great looks. We just didn't put them down, and it was a combination of a number of guys: Akeem, Nikolai, Delroy. We missed a lot of open shots, and you don't want to go too crazy with trying to super evaluate it, but we're better than that, and that's what I felt going into second half. And again, you can't make it a bigger problem than it already is, but you got to keep having confidence to score the basketball. But by the same token, I think we did a much better job of rebounding the basketball, and that really helped us just as much as making the shots. Absolutely.
As you said, out-rebounding your opponent in each of the last two games against two very good rebounding teams in this league. And, you mentioned Nick. And Nick, everybody thinks him first and foremost as a three-point shooter, but more and more, and in that second half against Charlotte, we saw this, getting back to the basket, getting that ball in closer to the basket, or even that face-up mid-range jumper. He's finding different ways to score, and it seems as though that's making his game a little tougher to defend.
Well, he's real crafty around the bucket, whether it's his right hand or his left hand, but I think he gets position, and he really knows how to maneuver his body, and we really need that. Not only from Nick, but I think Delroy's a guy as well to try to take some of the pressure off of him on the perimeter, to try to post him up once in a while, just so that now when he's playing inside, they can only play him one-on-one. When he's playing on the perimeter, it seems like he's playing 1 against 4. So do the math. I'd rather have him go one-on-one.
Well, Jim Barron, we're going to let you get back to the recruiting trail and assessing some players out there. We appreciate your time here at Rhode Joe's Saloon. It's the Conversation with the Coach, brought to you by Supercuts. Supercuts every time. Coach, safe travels, and we'll look forward to seeing you back on campus quite quickly in preparation for the UMass game coming up on Saturday.
Well, Steve, I want to thank everybody for coming down there, and I miss being down there myself, and look forward to seeing you soon, and give my best to everybody that's down there, and please tell them thanks for being part of it.
You got it, Coach. Thanks so much. Congratulations on the recent success for the URI Rams, and hopefully continued success coming up against Massachusetts. Jim Barron with us here on the Runnin' Rams Basketball Hour, brought to you by, well, amongst others, Rhode Joe's Saloon, legendary food and drink, great deals every night. Find out what's going on by following them on Facebook at facebook.com, Rhode Joe's Saloon. Brought to you by the Belltone Hearing Aid Center's Rams Radio Network. We'll be back. Bill Reynolds is going to join us from the Providence Journal in just a moment, get his thoughts on the URI situation in college basketball as well. All coming up right here at Rhode Joe's Saloon. It's the Runnin' Rams Basketball Hour. Back in a bit.